Yo, what's up guys, it's NLW Figs here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing and giving you my thoughts on these ROH figures from Figures Toy Company. Now, I've never actually bought ROH figures before, and this is the first time I purchased them, and I've heard a lot of things about them, some of them not as positive as maybe they'd like, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt and I'll review these figures. But before I get into this video, make sure you leave a like and a comment down below if you own any of these ROH figures, and let me know what you thought of them, and as always, subscribe to NLW Figs for more wrestling figure content. But you know what? We'll just start off with looking at them as a whole. So in terms of like the package that they come in, it looks pretty professional. Like if you were buying them for like collector's purposes, if you were going to have them signed, put on a wall, I wouldn't see any problem with that. The trouble is, once you get them out of the packaging, that's where things start to fall down a little bit. So you saw in the thumbnail the backing card. I've actually got them stuck up on my wall now because I do like the standard backing card that they come with. It's almost like a collecting traders card type thing. I wish that WWE had like a similar style of packaging where you could have the picture of the wrestler just on a bit of card. I think that'd be really cool. So it's got that going for it. It also has a bunch of cool wrestlers that maybe wouldn't get figure releases from other companies like Jim Cornette, Mikey Whipwreck, and other ROH alumni. That's that's the Legends line. This is just a strictly ROH line. But these are two that I wanted to pick up. I know there's a bunch of others that you can get, like ones that are actually in WWE and AEW at the moment, like Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, all that. But we've seen kind of what ROH has brought out figure-wise, and now that they've been bought by AEW, you wonder how this kind of partnership is going to go moving forward. Are they going to be kind of brought out in a Jazzware series maybe? That would be very sick to see. But I'll just off the bat, you can see PCO, he's what, like 6 foot or something like that? I'm not too sure actually. I might have to Google it later. But the fact that these two are quite similar in build, despite the fact that PCO is much larger in terms of like his physical build than Rush is. So yeah, we've got PCO. Obviously, if you've not seen his work before, he used to be Carl Ouellet in the WWF, and now he's got this kind of career renaissance, which is really cool to see. He's doing some crazy stuff in ROH, Impact, and GCW as well. And then, of course, Rush from CMLL and Ring of Honor, a recent Ring of Honor champion for them. So I think both of them as wrestlers are really good, but do these figures really kind of match up? You can see they're the same scale, so that's one of the issues that this line has, is that there isn't like a scaling really with it. It's all the same height, which for toys is not necessarily a bad thing. It's kind of similar to the Ruthless Aggression ones back in the day, but we're in an age now where figures are generally more height accurate. Well, not Jazzwares, but Mattel certainly have got the height kind of sorted, so it doesn't really scale up well with WWE or AEW figures particularly. It's fine, it does what it does, but yeah, that's one of the issues right off the bat. And we'll go into like detail on like the actual figures themselves too, because I feel like I've talked about kind of the history a little bit too long. So we'll start off with this, we'll start off with PCO, because I feel like this is one that I've got some positive things to say about. The Rush, not so much, but we'll get into it as we do. So you can kind of see what PCO's got going for him. So let's talk about the head scan first of all. I think this is a pretty solid effort. I do like, the kind of the blank expression. I think it's a really cool figure for like action figure purposes. So the hair and the head, I got no problems with really. And likewise, like this cloth material for the actual attire, I actually quite like. It might be a hot take, but I prefer this to just the kind of painted on. I think it looks a lot better when you're taking it in like figure photography terms, to have like a cloth outer bit. And if you wanted to make this into like a custom Mattel figure, it would be a lot easier, because you could just take this bodysuit off and put it on a new one, as well as the head. There is a little bit of skin tone issues, so you've got like the chest, which doesn't match the head, and the arm skin tones, and we'll get to that in a moment. Before I'll just kind of show you what's going on with this cloth jacket. So I really do like this. There is an issue as well. Some of the limbs, like you can see that, it's the same issues with Jax, like the arm is quite loose. Once it's up, it's not too bad, but I'm always worried it's going to break off. Like you'll see here as well, the tattoos aren't matching up very well at all. So it looks like, if you can look closely, you can actually see where the decal has been put on. It's almost like a duck custom, and you can see there it's kind of a thin peg inside there, and I'm worried that it's going to kind of snap off, but in terms of how it moves up like that, I am worried that it's going to kind of break off, because Mattels and Jazzwares, they tend to break quite easily, so Lord knows what a kind of cheaper line like this is going to do. But the chest mould itself is fine. Again, like, it's nothing to write home about really, and it moves fairly well. Like, it is a basic, and then it obviously twists at the side, and then the leg movement again is similar to what you'd be used to in a Jakks figure, so not terrible really. And the feet, it stands up fairly well. Like, and in terms of like posing and stuff, you can do most of what you'd normally do with like a basic figure, you know, probably more so than a basic. But yeah, you can tell that these are probably more made for like collectibles in terms of like displaying rather than taking out of the packaging. So, you know, it's basic, but to be honest, because he is like quite a recognisable guy, it's not a figure that I'm too fussed about. I think it's pretty good. It's the price point though. I did get it for like 20 quid. I think, I don't know how it is in America, how much they charge. I only got it quite expensive because it's from a UK, obviously from the US, so there's a whole kind of cost there to shipping it over, but I don't know how it is in America. But they should not be charging as much for these as they are the Mattel ones, I can tell you that. Probably go for like $10, I would say, what they're actually worth, like the Ruthless Aggression ones back in the day. But yeah, a decent figure. Like, I would probably add this to NLW as is, because I thought, you know, maybe I could add it as a make a custom out of it. But to be honest, I like the cloth. I like the cloth accessories to it. I wish that's one thing from these figures that I wish would be implemented in Mattel more often, rather than just like the standard plastic, because it gives a little bit more free dimension to it. And likewise with this ruche, I'll start off with like the positives again. Like, these cloth pieces to the boots, I really like. I think they're really cool. Like the standard boots that you get, like the rubber with like Mattel and stuff, I much prefer to have this cloth material. And likewise, these knee pads are made of a decent material as well, feel really good. And again, like these arm pieces too, very what's the word, photogenic, I would say. The only real issue with them, I suppose, is they rip or tear, but you know, I still like having cloth. I wish that was something that figures had more of, really, like the PCO. And the trunks design is fine, you know. Let's get on to my main concern, is that the head is too big and it doesn't turn. Look, his hair is actually too big to turn on the figure properly, so you've got to kind of really make an effort to turn his head, because like where it turns this way, the hair, really bad. Like, it's just solid on there. There's no kind of no Mattel kind of flair to it, if you see what I mean. It's not rubbery, it's just solid plastic, so it's difficult to turn there, and that means that he can't really move his head a little bit. And you can see at the top as well, if I can kind of zoom in here, where it looks like a hairpiece is just here, like attached to it. So I don't know what that's about. Is that supposed to be like a headband, or what is that? But it doesn't look like a hairband to me. It just looks like two different parts of the head that's been glued together, so that's an issue as well. And we've also got kind of this problem here where I'm worried I'm going to break the arm of it, because it doesn't feel like that sturdy, and you can see there's already like tear in the plastic here. And if you look up close as well, you can see on like the pecs of him where the plastic is kind of torn up and ripped up there, and it's kind of loosely kind of molded together, so not digging that at all. And like the scale, again, not particularly fond of it. But that said, posing for it, not terrible. Like, honestly, when I bought these figures, I wasn't expecting much, because I'd heard bad things. I just thought it'd be fun to have a ruche in my collection, and I was always planning on making a custom using this head. But to be honest, now, like, having it posed as is, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I don't even think I'll bother making the custom anymore. I mean, I might, but we'll see if there's like a ruche custom head scan that is available on one of the custom sites. I might get that, but I might just keep this as is, because it's not terrible, you know. I don't think the head is that good though, and obviously scale wise with other figures, not great, but like nothing really to complain about in terms of like posing and stuff. I've seen really bad reviews of these figures, but maybe it's just because I don't know, I've got lower standards for these kind of things. than most people. I kind of expected it going in, so I wasn't that disappointed. I would be disappointed if you were expecting like a 10 on 10 figure, and then you brought out the packaging and it was just this. But that said, like, I'm used to the kind of Ruthless Aggression figures where the scale wouldn't be there, and it is kind of like a throwback to me, so maybe there's a little bit of nostalgia there. And also, I just love this PCO, man. Like, I love it. I can't explain why, I just love it. I think it's great. And I don't even feel the need to make that into a custom. This one leaves a little bit to desired. I think Roosh is great, but as a figure, not the best, you know, in terms of like, it's a kind of generic build, and the hair, it just looks bootleg to me personally and cheaply made. But if you're paying a tenner for it, go get them. Like, they're great display pieces. If you're using it for PigFed, I might think twice about it. But even then, like, they're still decent. I wouldn't overpay for these figures, but that's only one of my issues, really. The fact that they've got these cloth accessories is really cool. I love the jumpsuit, and I love the little accessories on the boots and the wrists as well from Roosh. So, yeah, I was going into this review thinking I was just going to slate them, but yeah, they're not the best looking figures. They do not match up to the other figures out there from like Jazwares and Mattel, but that said, I think they capture the personalities and the heads of the wrestlers they're portraying a lot better than some of the Jazwares ones, let's face it, honestly. But yeah, if I was going to give them a rating, I don't know, 5 out of 10. I'd say middle of the road. They're not terrible. I wouldn't overpay for them, and you know, they're not the best looking figures of all time, but what do you expect, really? Like, they are what they are, and I think they've got kind of a nostalgic quality to them, and a nice little quality to them of, like, you know, old school wrestling figures. So very much on board with that, and I think, you know, I may even get another Ring of Honor figure in the future. You know, I think they're decent. So yeah, that might be a controversial take to kind of, I'm not gushing over them or anything like that, but I think they're fine for what they are. But let me know, do you have any ROH figures in your collection, and what do you think of them? Have you tried using them for PigFed? I don't think I've seen any Ring of Honor figures used in PigFeds before, but if someone has, do correct me and show me. But that is it for this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to NLW Figs for more wrestling figure content. Comment down below as well if you've got these figures and what you think of them. That's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.